Okay, mate.
Okie doke. Well, everybody, welcome back to the Brink.
Oh, we started.
Yeah.
Oh, how are we going to put it on timer?
Whereas we don't want to, yeah.
What we don't want to do is ramble on for too long. So, because we thought the first one was a little bit too long, didn't we, David?
It was a bit punchy.
Yeah, anyway, I'll shut up. You carry on. I'll just say.
Well, we made it to episode 2, believe it or not.
Yeah, we did.
We're not sure if any of you have made it with.
Jeez, we got some flack though, didn't we? Or did you get flack for being queer?
No.
But
I've been dealing with that.
I got a bit of flack for being, a homophobe.
Yeah, but we're doing that in the next episode.
Oh, no, it's just, mate, what are you talking about? Like, we talked about having no structure. Now, so I turn up today in Monaco, and guess what? Look at us, guys. We're at David's wanky apartment. Like, my place, it was a bush in the background. Now we've got the Bay of Monaco, which is pretty nice. It's a really nice beach down there. But if you like girls, then there's a heap of girls down there. But if you like boys, there's some boys down there as well.
It caters for everything.
Okay, sorry.
No, you did get some flack, Matthew, for stuff that was perceived as homophobic, which I thought was a little unfair.
Well, considering that I was raised by homosexuals, it would seem odd that you would think that I was a homophobe.
Well, I don't think that. No,
I don't either, mate.
No one who actually listened to the podcast, I think, would have concluded that you are.
Yeah, that's us. Hey, and that's the thing, though, isn't it? Like, see, this is what the media do. They take little sound bites, David. They take little sound bites. They go, queer, fag, da-da-da. We don't want to go into this, but they take little sound bites and then go, oh, he is obviously a homophobe. But they don't take the rest of what you said and put it in context. Right?
Yeah.
They cut all that stuff out to sensationalise it. So whether it be the New Zealand Herald, the New York Times, or the Telegraph, so whatever slant they want to put on things, that's why I say never believe what you read in the paper, because it's somebody's opinion. It's either an author, okay, it's a journalist, it's his opinion, or it's the opinion of the editor who's been controlled by the owner of the paper, whose politics could be left or right.
Well, I think you're probably preaching to the choir, because if anyone's followed across from episode 1 to episode 2, they'll realise that our message is essentially a pretty good one, like it's a kind one. We're not putting anything but
exactly. And I think you should jump in here and say that there's nothing that I will say to David that he can't say to me. Like, he can call me a fag if he wants.
Yeah, but why would I bother?
Yeah, exactly. But like, it's like, this is what we're trying to say is like, you choose to be offended. It's an act to be offended, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 100%. Like if you think about, I mean, we're going to get more into this in episode 3, but to be offended or to take offense, that in itself is an active verb, right? Like you're actively choosing to take on offense. You get to choose. Like that's a powerful message we definitely want to get into.
Can I just say you're looking very handsome today, Dave?
Thank you.
And look, can you show me your bangles? He tells me he's worn that every day. I've never seen that. You've just gone out and bought that. It looks real cool too, by the way. All the black leather in that.
I've had this watch since I was 30.
No, not the watch. I'm talking about
which you haven't even referenced my birthday.
When's your birthday?
I turned 45 last week.
Yeah, no, well, I was there.
You were there?
Yeah, I offended a whole lot of people. No, I didn't. I had a good time.
It was great.
Boomer.
It was
Did
great.
National 7.
He's a people pleaser.
Anyway, carry on.
But I don't want to rabbit on about the homophobia stuff because we're not all about that. But I did think about it.
Just lean into the mic again, Dave.
And I was thinking about the term homophobia. Like, phobia, as far as I understand it, is a fear of something, right? Like arachnophobia, you're scared of spiders. And when I looked up phobia, I thought maybe it had a Latin like derivation, but it's Greek, and phobia is to be scared of something. And like homophobes aren't scared of gay people.
No.
Like if you were homophobic, you wouldn't be scared of me, right?
No.
Like it doesn't, the word doesn't even fucking make sense. So,
no, it should be you don't like.
Yeah, well, yeah, a hatred of, right?
Yeah, which would be a misogynist.
Yeah, so good point. So like I did look it up, and the word for hatred in Greek is miso.
Right.
Which misogyny means like hatred of women. So it'd be miso homo or homo miso, right?
Yeah, so if you're going to call me something, which I'm not, but it'd be a miso homo.
Miso.
Yeah.
So Matthew.
Yeah. Well, so do you reckon the Japanese have been pulling all over our eyes? So, are you right there, mate? Because we've been gobbling down this miso soup, mate. And so They've just been taking the piss out of us. They have, haven't they, the bastards? And I love the Japanese. I eat your food all the time and loads of miso soup. Holy hell. There's a conspiracy going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
How's that time going?
Yeah, we've been fluffing on for it's been 5 minutes.
We did want to get into like giving ourselves a bit more background. Did I even mention at the beginning, talking about our lives up here in Europe?
Yeah.
Within 5 minutes, we're fucking bored. I think Matthew was on the floor trying to slit his wrists. I was leaning over a balcony. It was terrible. And we wouldn't want to inflict that upon you. So
basically I live in a house and he lives in an apartment in Monaco.
How exciting.
In a house up in Grass.
how exciting.
Now, I would swap my house for his house any day if I was living on my own. Because because he lives with his husband,
I do.
Jimmy.
Fascinating.
Who's in there packing? For Singapore.
Because he saw the first episode and he's like,
Yeah, he's like,
I'm out of here.
Anyway, hurry up.
Although what we might appear a bit ridiculous, a bit stupid, we do actually have purpose and our intent is good. Is that fair enough to say?
Exactly. No, we do have a purpose.
And what's that purpose?
Well, it's about human connection, really. For me.
100%.
And this is, like I said before, this is self-medicating for us. See, we're just sort of rabbiting on, but this is what we do. This is how we talk about shit, and we just sort of go around in circles.
But
we end up getting
before you look at human connection, like in the world that we're in, one that's so divided, like it's one of intolerance, right? How do you even begin to form strong human connection, like fundamentally sound connections, when the world is so like completely divided and we're not even allowed to look at other people's other points of views, right?
Yeah, I get that, but I'm just talking about that's when we're going into different points of view on different topics about, race, gender, colour, all that sort of stuff. But I'm talking about connection as when, there's those little things when you walk down the street, or for example, when I was walking through the airport the other day in London, and I was at that Pret-a-Porter, and the place was packed, and the people were under pressure, and I was standing there, and I was just like, I just had a smile on my face, and the little Indian lady, she was an older lady behind the counter, she looked at me, and she looked me in the eyes, and I just smiled, and she smiled back, and I was like 3 or 4 rows back. She said, "What would you like, sir?" And I went,
So you queue jumped?
"No, I didn't queue jump.
Yeah, you must have.
Maybe I fucked her." Oh no, I fucked a 95-year-old. That's this. No, I didn't. Okay, I was just smiling at her.
Opportunist.
I was just smiling at her. And she just happened to see me, right? So I went up and I got my coffee, and I was like, "Oh, thanks so much. It's really, really kind of you." And I apologized to everybody else. I was like, "Oh, sorry," and they all sort of put so I had a little sideways glance, but. There was a really nice interaction. I said at the end, I said, "Oh, thank you very much. Have a great day." She said, "You too, young man." And this is when I had a beard that was grey. Remember, you encouraged me to grow that hideous Moses beard. Actually looked pretty good. So I left there, and I was pretty pumped, like I just had that little shot of dopamine. I said, "Oh, what a cool connection." Then I was just walking to the lift, and I saw this dude sitting down, and he was a young guy, maybe 35, 36, way younger than me, and he was real buff. He had a singlet on, he had cool tats, nice tan, real mean beard, like trimmed, all that stuff. And I just looked at him, I was like, yeah, it was similar to David's. And I was like, "Oh, bro, you're looking, mean, looking real fit." And mate, love that beard. Takes a lot of discipline to grow a beard like that, eh? And he goes, his eyes just, it's like, I can't even remember what he said, but it was just a nice little moment, between two guys. And we're both alpha males.
That makes it okay.
Well, even if he was am I allowed to say even if he was queer, gay, whatever, or straight.
He could have been.
He would have been,
No.
but he could have been
Exactly. It's beside the point.
And he got a bump, and I got a bump, and I jumped in the elevator. I was like, yeah, feeling really good about myself. And then, lo and behold, this African-American young dude walks in, he's snappy as, and I just looked at him and said, "Bro, you snappy." And I was smiling away, and he just, his eyes lit up, and he's like, "Oh, thanks, bro." I said, "Yeah, no worries, man. Have a good day." I got out of the lift, and I was like, wow, how cool is that? I'm bouncing along on just complimenting people.
Yeah.
Not being fake or whatever, but just having a little moment with a stranger and just, acknowledging, wow, them, actually seeing them. And I think that's really powerful, and that's the sort of thing, that's the connection that I think you can get on easily on an everyday basis. And some people will say, oh, yeah, but it's easy for you because you're outgoing, you're gregarious.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you, like, how do you, I mean, it sounds nice, you know, we've discussed it, I'm pretty cynical, and it's not even that, like, yeah, but I'd happily do that to a woman, like, you give a woman a compliment, but, like, I would be fearful of doing that to a dude in case he thought I was, like, hitting on him, you know, like, that would go through my mind, and I wouldn't be, but, like, so how do you overcome that?
But
like, is it internal confidence, or do you have to fake it till you make it?
I think you got to fake it till you make it. You know, like, you know, you think about it when you're walking down the street, or when you walk into a party, or when you go to a pub or whatever. If you go in with a sad sack face on, what's the reaction you're going to get? But if you go in with you walk in, shoulders back, tall, you're confident, and it's not easy, but it's you know you. And when people look at you, just engage and just smile with your eyes. You don't have to look them up and down or anything like that.
No, I mean,
just give them a wink and stuff like that. You know, when you see someone cool, it happens to us all the time. You see someone cool, you see a girl that looks hot, or she looks real cute, or she's snappily dressed, or a dude that's got a different style, or he's just got a swagger. Like the thing that I do is I just acknowledge it and go, bro, looking cool.
Yeah.
And I can do that to guys.
Yeah, but I think there's, for a lot of people, and maybe I'm speaking for myself actually, I don't know, but there's like a certain barrier of comfort you got to push through to do that. I know that you don't have that naturally, right? But I do, because I'm a pretty shy person by nature.
Yeah.
So, like,
I get it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I guess what I'm trying to say is,
I see the upside and I see the benefit.
You can have a connection. It doesn't cost you any money. You don't have to be cool. You don't have to be rich. It's all walks of life. You just have to acknowledge people, and that's what we're forgetting to do on a daily basis. Like, we're all rushing to school. We drop the kids off. You see the parents at school. You don't even say hello. Like, everyone's just in such a rush instead of just like. It's just a human thing to do. Like, just slow down and just take in what's around you, because all we've got is the now, right? Right here, right this moment, okay? So what's wrong with this moment? Nothing, okay? So if you just engage it, just how you and I engage, you know how you look in each other's eyes, and you get that, you just get that.
Yeah, that's different, I guess, with people that right? But
it's not.
But don't you think that the world being as divided as it is, like everyone's in these, we mentioned it the other day, like
we're 12 minutes, by the way, hang on, sorry, David. Yeah, we are 12 minutes.
Well, that's all right. We won't bore too much longer then. Another 10, 12 minutes.
You carry up. Like, we digressed. I know we.
No, it's okay, but that's what we had to do. But we're in these encampments, and within these encampments, we have like these identities, like we belong because we vote this way, or we vote that way, or with, maybe we're this color, or maybe they're another color, or we're this sexuality, or whatever. And we're within those encampments and within those identities, we're kind of like, you feel like you have to like believe a certain way. You can't cherry pick from other groups, and you're kind of stuck.
Why?
Because
I do.
Because people are now, if they speak out and they ask questions, they're so scared about being offended, or first of all, causing offense, being offended, asking the wrong questions, being criticized for asking the wrong questions, being seen as like bigoted or closed-minded or stupid. You were asking questions the other day about, why do gay people do this? Why do gay people do that? That's inquisitive. That comes from a good place. I know that, which is why it's not threatening or demeaning. But other people interpret that as like ignorance, stupidity.
Like, if it's ignorance, So
that is why I'm saying people are scared to. And
I get it.
We're so like, the world is so at odds with itself, and that there's no like ability, well, there hasn't been for a long time, for people to step within like what I call like the gray zone, or like the middle ground, where people can come together and you can be okay with disagreeing, being okay with having your like opinions questioned, being okay with being wrong.
You should be able to ask any question. If you're asking a question, when you ask a question, it means that you don't know. Is that correct? If I'm asking a question, I want to know something.
It does, because you're interested, right?
Because you're interested, right? So you're asking a question. It's like, what school do you go to? But obviously we want to ask deeper questions than that. So if somebody takes offense to you asking a question, then they've got the issue. And if they think that you're ignorant because you don't know, you can't just assume that everybody has the understanding that you have.
No, of course, but my point is that you ask enough questions and you get shut down enough times, you're going to stop asking those questions, right?
Well, it's like in school, right? You
Yeah.
put your hand up, you ask a
Yeah.
question, and it comes across as a dumb question.
And then if you're told
People
you're
laugh.
bad for asking the question incorrectly or not knowing the answer, you're told you're bad, you're bigoted, you're this, you're that, you're right wing, you're left wing. Well, soon enough, you're going to start not only not understanding the other point of view, you're going to start just resenting it and hating it. Like if I, like, for example, go back to like the gay thing. Like you could say...
I've got a question on the gay thing.
We'll
so-
get to that, but let me finish this one first. So like the gay thing, like I'm really grateful for like all the people who came before in the 50s and 60s and fought for rights, you know, so that I can have nice freedoms and certain levels of...
all the same freedoms that are afforded heterosexual people.
Yeah, exactly. And be really, really grateful for that. But I believe that like the end purpose or the end goal was to have equality or normalcy,
Yes.
but not to be special. So when I see something like, you know, and this will be controversial and I could get in trouble for asking it.
What?
Like, why is there, like, for example, a gay month? Like, why does there have
Is there a gay month?
Yeah, I don't even know what month it is, but why is there a whole month devoted to that where all the corporations, the businesses, the retailers get on board? And it's nice to show that they support,
Well,
but
okay.
it feels like box ticking.
Why did you guys steal the rainbow? Like,
Off Noah.
like the rainbow.
I know what a rainbow is.
You know the rainbow.
Well, it's diversity, right? It's color. I don't know.
Is that it?
But it's changed again. It's got browns and blacks and it's all different now.
Okay. But they've still got, because I, like, for
You
me,
killed
it's
my
like,
question.
they take the rainbow.
You killed-
Rainbow's everybody.
You killed my question.
Sorry?
You killed my question, but my point is that, you know, that I'm hesitant to ask a question as to why there's a whole month. Like, why is it being forced down everyone's throat?
Is that
But
a
all we
month
want-
worldwide? Or is it a month worldwide? Or
Well,
just,
it wouldn't be in Saudi Arabia.
okay.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, it's illegal to be a
Yeah,
homosexual in Saudi Arabia.
probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It will.
Which is, I don't agree with. Okay?
You heard it here first.
Mate.
And then on top of
You
that,
should
you've
be able
got
to stick it where you want to stick
you've
it.
got the double standard.
Shouldn't you, David?
You should be.
Mm.
You should be.
Yeah.
I mean, any act in itself is pretty like.
Yeah, okay. Sorry.
Just
We
do
don't
it.
agree. 16 minutes, 70 minutes.
But you know, then there's the double standard of like, I'm fearful about asking that question, right?
What question?
You know, like, why is there a gay month?
Yeah.
But I can kind of ask it. Yet, why can't
If I ask
same
it-
exact question, exactly the same question? Why can't that be asked by a straight? I mean, are you white? I don't know what you identify as. What the fuck ever. But why can't that be asked by somebody else? Like that to me seems so unfair, and that's why people are annoyed. That's why there's division, right? Because not only are you not allowed to like question it, you're not even allowed to like find out about it without seeming like
Yeah, because then you sound bigoted, you sound
Yeah.
ignorant, but you're not, like, ignorance only comes from not asking questions, right? Or
Yeah.
not knowing the answer, right? So there's no books about that sort of stuff.
Well, there's no manual that's been put out. I've certainly not received a manual in the mail
about the
about
gay month.
about what to believe or not to believe, what to agree with, not to agree with, like what are the parameters, right?
Yeah.
So like if there was somebody here who understood that and I could ask that question and they gave me an answer that I was like, okay, that makes sense. Maybe I'd get it, but I could also disagree with it. And
Yeah, and that's okay
you
too.
know, people should be able to be okay with
But
that.
that's the whole thing, is like, everybody takes offense if you don't agree with their opinion. And, you know, people take everything personally. Like you and I don't agree on many things.
Of course not.
But we don't get all, you know, like,
But it's boring. Don't you get fucking bored? I think with anyone with a bit of a brain, and I mean, people will be arguing that we don't have much of one.
David's very intelligent. He was an A student. I was a C student. I had to work my ass off. I used to rope learn, but
That's how I did it.
old mate here, he's a brain boss.
I'm
He
not.
really
I haven't
is.
done much with it, but anyway, it's fine. But
It's got some
just
stress sense, shut up.
that's it. Just talking about boredom, like mental stimulation alone. Like I'm always drawn to people with differing opinions. If you're in a group of people, you're at a dinner party, everyone's got the same opinion. What the fuck are you going to talk about? That's so boring.
Yeah,
We all have the same political views. Boring. We all agree on the same thing. Boring.
Yeah.
You're like, how is that interesting? And like, where's the learning? Like, where are the takeaways? Like, where's the growth and the improvement? Unless you're surrounding yourself with people who are different. And in order to do that, you've got to be open to like people having different opinions, you being cool with that,
Yeah, exactly.
and people not agreeing with your opinion.
Yeah, and people fire up when they, you know, like when you like if you don't agree with them, eh? Especially
100%.
older people, they get real fiery. I used to just love the arguments I used to have with my granddad because he used to vote National, and I used to like just say I'd vote Labor just because I knew that it'd fire him up. Holy moly, did he just go off the Richter scale? And I was only like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's good shit just seeing him.
But passion's different from like being like angry or emotive or abusive or like,
I don't know why I did that.
ad hominem, like,
Kind.
yeah, like he didn't cut you off, right? You know, that's what that's what cancel culture is, right? It's like when people disagree with you, not only do they take offense, they want to silence you and destroy you. They want to destroy your streams of income. They want to shut you off media platforms or social media. Like they want you to disappear. And there's the woke end of the spectrum that does that. But I'm not advocating for like being anti-woke because that's just the other end of the spectrum because they're just as destructive.
Absolutely.
When they're saying to people, you know, you can't be open-minded, or if you support this, or you support that, or you question this, you question that, you're just as bad. You know, they're advocating cancel culture at the other end of the spectrum. So it's in the middle that's the only place I think like good stuff can start happening and like any tangible change can happen, like be it at home, at school, in the workplace.
No.
Or in the world.
In the world, exactly. Hondo, 20 minutes and 41 seconds. Anything else you'd like to say?
I don't know. Somebody said to me the other day when we were discussing like how we can improve our podcast technique.
Yes.
Maybe if we're like having these discussions and giving, it's not advice because we're not expecting anybody to take it. But, you know, if we are advocating for something, then maybe we could give some tips on, you know, how people can like implement some things. And, you know, maybe it's in this situation, it's looking at, you know, am I open to going into discussions or reading newspaper articles or watching the news or having chats with my family and friends, like with like the view to being like open to having my opinion change. Like, can I hear somebody else look at my opinion and go, maybe it's flawed. Like maybe there are some inconsistencies there, or maybe I could rethink that. Or are you okay with just having a constructive conversation, walking away and being okay with it? And shocking concept, remaining friends.
Exactly.
You know, wouldn't that be nice?
It would be nice, David, and I think that's a very nice sentiment that you've ended the podcast on, actually. Wouldn't that be nice?
It would be lovely.
But I think we should carry on, because I think you had some good points there.
Well, I had lots of good points, but you kind of rushed me through.
No, just like, you've got some other good points. Just like, come on, mate. Like, don't get all sad sack on me, mate. Just like, you're a highly intelligent, extremely good-looking gay man, okay? Like he's getting a lot of attention because he used to he used to wear his mane out, right? And so now I've told him to put it back because I'm a bit of a stylist, and he's put it back in one of those clip things, right? Well, the attention he's getting from the woman now is unbelievable. So when we go out, mate, I'm just the sidekick. It's so good. It's like I thought that I was the burly. Nah, mate, he's the burly man. He's just like, and they just come flooding in, right?
I don't know where this comes from.
No, you know what I'm saying, mate. It's been unbelievable, and since you've grown that beard as well.
Do you think?
Yeah, totally. Like it's so good, mate. Like they just come flooding up, and I'm like, hey, how you going?
Well, it's better than the days of COVID when we were all in masks and I was getting called Madame all the time. That was, you know, so I got kind of girly eyes.
Yeah.
So I get Madame all the time.
Well,
I
was
was a swelling saying,
the first time I met him, actually, he was sitting out here and he took my daughter for a swim, and I'd forgotten that he'd taken her for a swim. Anyway, I turned around and I saw Lola like sort of dog paddling in, and I was like, who's that hot bird with Lola? And he had this real long,
yeah, I did,
blonde, you know, he looked like Fabio, but like a girl version of Fabio. So seriously, I had to get my glasses. I was like, oh shit, that's David. Mate, maybe I am gay. That's a joke.
Oh,
yeah, no, yeah. We digress again.
You can stay in your lane.
No, what else did you want to talk about? I know there's something else.
That's basically it. What I was going to say was like, you know, we're going to expand on all this sort of stuff because we're learning as we go. But episode 3, we kind of want to move into things like the world's obsession with being offended, which I think's a biggie, and this whole cult of victimhood.
Yeah, and that's your thing, eh? Because I don't get offended. Like,
that's okay. But like, But you're here to maybe like give people some insight on how to enjoy life the way you do by not being offended. Or
Yeah.
by not going through life
It's
as
like
a
what if
victim.
it ducks back? Yeah,
Yeah, there's a
exactly.
victim mentality, or there's like the thrive mindset. Like there's a choice.
Just
And-
get up and get on with it.
yeah, but a lot of people don't know
Munge
that.
and moan and have a little sock in that. Like, God, it's so pathetic.
You know, it's not pathetic. It's just some people don't know there's another option. Like, you know, when I drank, I just thought everything was everyone else's fault. I was a victim. You know, I was.
That's
like,
very true.
You know,
That's
I was.
And like, alcoholism has a tendency to do that.
Yeah,
like,
but some
blame
people
everybody
think like
else.
that already, so that when they start drinking, it just exacerbates.
Yeah,
So it's not like
yeah.
it's not a pathetic way of thinking.
No, I didn't say.
No.
Oh, did I?
Maybe you did,
Okay.
but it's okay.
Well, I stick
We
to
can
it.
change our opinion.
You can.
That's the beauty.
And
of
if you
us.
can change it, all the better.
Yeah.
But I still think it's pathetic.
But my point of view is that I could think like that at one point, but somewhere along the line, and I'm pretty sure it was my mum who'd always been telling me this,
That's good, Dave.
that you can choose whether you get offended or not. And once you click onto that, it's like life can become like exponentially better. So I don't want to get into it too much now.
No, fair
Let's
enough.
save it for the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that was a ripper, mate.
Okay,
25 minutes.
cheers. Hope we haven't bored you all. See you next time.